Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to deal with MetaMask privacy issues. So let's get started. MetaMask is a non-custodial wallet that you can run on your desktop computer in your browser. It is a browser extension. However, it is a non-custodial wallet, which means that you control the private key. You can set it up as a standalone wallet and write down your recovery phrase and keep it in a safe place in case something happens to your browser or your computer. You can also use MetaMask in conjunction with a Ledger or Trezor device for extra added security. In this configuration, the private key is stored on the hardware device, even though you're managing everything from MetaMask. It's a great wallet. People have been using it for quite a while now, and it is one of the bridges into the world of DeFi, or what we call Web 3.0, where you can connect to DeFi trading sites, where you can swap tokens, stake tokens, mine liquidity, all kinds of cool stuff. And MetaMask is one of the best ways or interfaces to do that. But there's been a bit of an outcry lately over some privacy issues surrounding the MetaMask wallet. So I would like to explain to you what this is all about. It's not really MetaMask that's collecting information. It's their parent company, Consensys. So let's take a look. Now, I've got this article here, and I'm going to link it down in the description. It's a pretty good overview of what's going on with this issue. Now, Consensys owns MetaMask, and even though MetaMask is a non-custodial wallet, when you set it up, the default node for your Ethereum blockchain connection is through a node provider called Infura, which is also owned by Consensys. So basically what happens when you are using MetaMask and you connect to the Ethereum network, you're doing so through a third party, which gives you a good, solid, and reliable connection to the Ethereum blockchain. Now, the trade-off to this is that Infura and Consensys are collecting IP addresses of people that are using their service. It's really not that out of the ordinary for a centralized service to collect IP addresses of people that use their service. But for people that are trading crypto in MetaMask, they don't like the fact that their privacy has been compromised. So I'm going to show you a few ways to get around this. Some of them complicated, some of them not so complicated. Like I said, I'm going to link this article down in the description below. I've also got a link to the Consensys privacy policy if you would like to read it up for yourselves. So when you have MetaMask installed in your browser, it looks like this. And when you click on it, you can see your wallet, and you can even maximize it to a browser tab so that you can see it a little better. And so you can see here is my wallet and a list of their assets and the activity that has occurred in my wallet. So the first thing I'll say about the data collection that occurs indirectly through MetaMask is that it is only occurring when you're using the Ethereum mainnet. Now, a lot of people might be using other networks like Phantom Network, Polygon Network, Avalanche Network, or Binance Smart Chain. So all of these alternate networks use their own methods for connecting to their respective blockchains through MetaMask, and they're not related to the main Ethereum connection, which uses the Infura node connection. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If we go into the settings of MetaMask and we click on networks here, you can see that I have these various other networks set up. And the default network when you install MetaMask is the Ethereum mainnet, and that default network is configured to connect to Infura, which is a really good node connector for the Ethereum network. You want a good, fast, reliable connection to the Ethereum network, and Infura provides that. So, but if you want to avoid that, there are a few things you can do. One thing, as I mentioned, are the alternate networks. You don't have to worry about Infura or Consensys collecting your IP address when you're using these networks. But suppose you want to use Ethereum mainnet, of course, which is the most common and popular network when you're using MetaMask, and you want to avoid the data collection. So the first thing you could do, which is pretty complicated, is to run your own Ethereum node. So I've got an article here from ethereum.org which explains how you set up your own Ethereum node. Now, this is an updated article or a post-merge article that explains how you set up your own Ethereum node, but it's resource intensive. You're pretty much going to need to have your own dedicated machine for doing this. You could run this node on your go-to desktop or laptop, but that's not really recommended because it's going to take up a lot of resources. So first of all, it needs a lot of hard disk space. The entire Ethereum blockchain will be downloaded and stored on your Ethereum node. So you're going to need a lot of hard disk space. You'll probably want to go out and get some kind of server with a good solid state drive that has a lot of free space on it, right? Here are some of the computer configurations. You're going to have to know about setting up servers, getting them configured, and running your node, right? In addition to the hard disk space, there's going to be a lot of bandwidth required for this. So if you've got a normal internet plan from an internet service provider that only gives you, say, a certain amount of bandwidth per month, you're probably going to run over that. Now, I've got a pretty expensive internet connection with very high speeds and a lot of an unlimited bandwidth, but most people don't. All right. So if you're thinking about running your own node, you've got to think about you need the extra hardware and software, you need the extra disk space, and you're going to need a good, solid internet connection with a lot of bandwidth, which will probably increase your monthly internet bill. So that's pretty complicated, right? But I'm going to put a link to this down in the description for any of you hardy souls that would like to run your own Ethereum node. I've also got links to these articles from MetaMask about how you set up your own node and how you connect to your own local node when you're using MetaMask, right? So that's way number one of getting around the data collection for the Infura node. Now, there's another way to do this, and that is configuring an alternate node provider for the Ethereum network from within MetaMask. I've got a link to this article down in the description. It gives the top 10 alternate node providers that you can configure from within MetaMask. So I'll just give you a quick example. Alchemy is one of them. If you go to the Alchemy page, you can sign up for a free account. And of course, there are paid accounts if you need a little extra oomph. But it's quite easy to set up a free account within Alchemy. As you can see, I've already done it here. I've got my MetaMask ETH node. But really, all you need to do is sign yourself up for a free account, and then you can create your own app. You'll give it a name, a description, and configure it for Ethereum. And then you'll be able to use that node provider from within MetaMask. So what am I talking about? Well, we would go into MetaMask and we would simply create an additional network. We would configure it manually and put in all the settings that we got from our Alchemy. The main thing really will be the RPC URL, which will connect to your Alchemy account, right? So if you look in my settings, you can see that I've already set up my Ethereum node for Alchemy. I've just given it the Ethereum network name. You can name this anything you want, but I call it Ethereum Alchemy just so that I can recognize it. But the chain ID for Ethereum is 1, The symbol is ETH, and the block URL explorer is etherscan.io. All of the same settings that you basically use for your main Ethereum connection, right? Everything stays the same, except you put in the RPC that you generate from your Alchemy account, all right? Now, and you would do something similar if you used any of these other node providers. Really, basically, you're just changing the RPC URL. There's no guarantee that any of these other providers aren't going to collect your data. They probably also have privacy statements and data collection policies as well, right? You might have to go, to a paid account if you want to avoid data collection. I don't really know. I'm just telling you that there are alternate ways to configure MetaMask to not use the Infura node link, right? You can use other nodes within MetaMask to configure your connection to the Ethereum blockchain. All right, and now the last way, which I consider the easiest of the three methods, is to simply use a VPN. So when you use a VPN on your local computer, you're getting a lot for your money. You're increasing your privacy and your flexibility. You'll be able to log in to just about anywhere in the world and avoid country blocks and those sort of things. So there's a lot that you gain from using a VPN. I personally use NordVPN. Once you have your VPN configured, you can do a quick connect to a local server within your own country. And when you do this, your IP address will no longer show when you're logged in to websites. So if we log into the NordVPN website now, you can see that it tells me that I'm protected, right? And my IP address is no longer the IP address of my local machine, right? And you can also log into alternate servers in different parts of the world if you want to, right? You've got a whole host of servers all over the world that you can use to log into to avoid IP blocks and things like that. And of course, to shield your IP address from data collection. Once I'm connected to my VPN, and then I start to use MetaMask as a wallet, and then I connect to a DeFi site like Uniswap. Basically, now when I use my MetaMask wallet to interface with this, and I'm connecting to the Ethereum node using the default, even if I'm going to use the default Infura RPC URL, my personal IP address will be shielded, right? They'll be collecting data from the interactions that I'm doing, but it will appear that I am on a different IP address from Japan or Belgium or somewhere else in the US. So that's a really easy way to avoid the data collection that is occurring with Infura. And as I mentioned, using a VPN is a way to avoid data collection in general and to improve your privacy in general, right? You'll notice that my IP address changed there when I changed my server over to the one in Japan. So I personally use NordVPN. They've got cyber deals that you can check out. If you're interested, I've got links down below to all of the articles and all of the techniques that I talked about. And I also have a link to for you to get signed up to NordVPN using my affiliate link. So if you're interested, I would appreciate you using my link. If you have any questions about anything I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. Don't forget, I do a live stream every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.